At the end of August, there were a few damp days, so, one morning, when he could not be cutting hay, Travis and 3 or 4 friends showed up with their heavy equipment and a couple of ladders. In 4 hours they'd taken off the metal roof, removed a large lean-to on the back of the cabin, and had it all loaded on trailers ready to be driven to the ranch when there was less traffic at night. Travis and crew who performed their magic on the old rental cabin. From owning one of these old summer water-only rental cabins, I knew how to identify them by where the one water line came in and one out, plus the cover in the ceiling where the pot-bellied stovepipe went into the attic. This rental cabin had the galvanized water pipe still on top of the ground, but hidden in the tall weeds. The sink and stove had long disappeared like they had in my old building. A few other discoveries made the project fun for me. My first treasure was finding an old kitchen table. When I turned the table on its side to get it through the door, I noticed the name P.H. Smith stenciled on one of the boards. In the old days, anything valuable transported into GL was put in a wooden crate with the name of the recipient stenciled in black ink. Another fact is that P.H. Smith and his son-in-law, Clyde Eslick, built the Cottage Camp Motel. 2. Written on one of the inside walls of the lean-to was, "I have slept in better cabins, but I don't know when. Paul Kernodle, Grandview MO. Write me. 1953, age 16. I was able to find some facts about Paul from his 2008 obituary that is associated with Find a Grave website. Paul was born in September of 1937. He earned his private aircraft license when he was 16 and his instrument rating at age 18. Graduated from U of MO in 1960, followed by 3 years in the U.S. Army, then flew for Ozark and TWA Airlines. I had hoped to be able to communicate with Paul since he was only 9 years older than I, but it was not to be. He died in KC in 2008. Note: if Paul was there in a summer month and not late September, he was actually only 15. I can see him wanting to have it say he was older and able to drive. Paul Kernodle's message written during his stay in 1953. 3. There were 2 names I was able to track down. One had become a schoolteacher in Texas, but like Paul was deceased. I was also able to find a 3rd young lady, but then the leads disappeared. 4. On a couple of the logs in the larger building, there were several more invitations, by what were probably young girls, leaving their names and the small towns they were from. Their young ages kept me from finding them using the U.S. Census. The latest census data is from 1940, and the 1950 census will not become public until April of 2022. 5. The last treasure was not uncovered until the morning that the rental cabin was moved. After the remaining usable lumber was removed, the front page of an old Denver newspaper seemed to magically appear on the wood floor. The only thing I remember about it were the large headshots of President Harry Truman and his running mate Alben Barkley making it a 1948 newspaper. It seemed strange that the old newspaper was the only thing stuck to the floor planks and survived all those years. My guess is that there had been rolled linoleum protecting it, just like in so many old summer rental cabins I've come across in GL. 1948 Denver Post. One of my joys, at this time in my life, is researching and writing about GL history. Unfortunately, this one now has a sad ending. It happened on October 21st, 2020. As the East Troublesome Fire roared east, then north into our MNP, it completely consumed the Winding River Ranch and all the old building Travis had saved over the years. Winding River Ranch before the East Troublesome Fire in October 2021. Winding River Ranch after the East Troublesome Fire on October 21, 2021. Just knowing a few things about Paul Kernodle, like where he lived in 1953, I was able to locate the following information. 1. Because he was born before 1940, I knew he would probably be in the 1940 microsecond census, and he was. I used Ancestry.com to locate his family along with his 1954 high school yearbook with photos. 2. Using FindTheGrave.com, I found his headstone with his obituary. My search for Paul all started from finding his pencil message left behind from 1953. Copied from a heading above the following yearbook photo. Oliver Paul Kernodle's 1953 senior class photo. December 4, 1979 Chillicothe Constitution Tribune.